Hey, thanks for joining Uncle Mike for this edition of the Dow Directions, a technical analysis of the Dow. Well, you can see there was hope yesterday, hoping to lift off the bottom. Pretty good sign of retracing almost all the downdraft, but today just could not hold on. So we'll sit here and ponder the situation. I think until they get a few concrete details on this bailout plan for the banks, we're going to be wandering aimlessly around, and the way it looks technically is heading lower. Here's the T8. T8 is at 75.36, just below the 23.6 retracement. We'll have some resistance right there. Then above we have the 20 EMA at 77.22, and then about 78, almost 7,900. We've got this resistance here. So be aware, unless we slice through this with huge volume, which would be a bullish sign. And we have our 50 EMA now at 91.07. It's coming down and down further and further. Pretty soon we'll be at the 8,000 mark for the 50 EMA. Okay, let's take a look at some of our favorite indicators. Tonight we'll go back to, we did the trend line last night. Let's go to support and resistance. The shorter term support and resistance, the Dow broke below the downside support level of 79.42 11 days ago, which was a bearish sign. And at that point, it did come through, if you remember the other night, with 41% greater than normal volume. It also, of course, breached the longer term resistance at 81.62 11 days ago on that same day, which volume was 41% above normal. Okay, so let's go to the volatility analysis again. The Bollinger Bands are 4.66 narrower than normal, so we're getting in a somewhat normalized range. The trend analysis will look at the indicators we looked at last night. There are no new indications. I'll check them now and then. We'll see if we get a bullish sign, a buy, but the Arun indicator still 70 periods ago generated a sell. The directional indicator gave us a sell signal 135 periods ago. MACD 9 periods ago sell. Stop and reverse, the SAR, was 17 periods ago. So just to summarize, based on all of this, the Dow is very bearish. Let's look at our Chande chart checkup. The overall price bias is still downwards. Be nice to see it neutral at some point here. The projected upper bound is 77.20. That's just a little bit over the T8. And the projected lower, the downside is 67.66. Now moving on to the Rex Takasugi profile. Dow was down 77 today, and volume was 25% above average. The technical outlook for the short term is neutral now, and the technical outlook for the intermediate and long term, though, is still bearish. The 200 period moving average is, the Dow is 27.8% below the 200 period moving average, still in a downward trend. Volatility is relatively normal at this period. The averages over the last 10 periods. And the trend forecasting oscillators are currently bearish. And it has been bearish for the last 28 periods. So let's go back to the chart, take a quick look. Again, our first hurdle, the 23.6 area. And then hopefully if we hold and get above the 20 EMA, and hopefully even hold there before we break through this resistance area now, and then again, what technicians would like to see is above the 50 EMA and close and hold above that for a bullish sign. So thanks for joining Uncle Mike for this edition of the Dow Directions, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.